Control yourself. Control the world. It's a bold claim, isn't it? But think about it. How much of your life is influenced by what's outside of you? Stress at work, endless notifications, people testing your patience. What if I told you that the real power lies within you? Not in the chaos around you, but in how you respond to it. Here's the catch. Most people waste their energy trying to control the uncontrollable. Other people, circumstances, even the weather. And yet, they wonder why life feels so overwhelming. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. Mastering yourself changes everything. Your emotions, your choices, even the way the world reacts to you. Today, we're diving into the timeless lessons of Gandhi. These are not just philosophies to admire. They're practical tools that will shift your mindset and transform how you live. From embracing nonviolence to cultivating faith, each lesson is a step toward regaining your power. And trust me, these aren't theories, they're actions you can take today. So, are you ready to unlock your potential and take charge of your world? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started with the first lesson, the power of nonviolence. Lesson 1. Nonviolence, Ahimsa. Nonviolence. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But let me ask you this. How often do we practice it, not just in action, but in thought and speech? Gandhi believed that true nonviolence starts from within. It's not just about refraining from physical harm. It's about purifying the way we think, speak, and behave. Picture this. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your first reaction? Maybe a honk or a muttered curse. But what if instead, you practiced ahimsa? What if you took a deep breath, smiled, and thought, maybe they're rushing to something important? Here's the kicker. Nonviolence isn't weakness. It's power in disguise. Think of it like water. Water seems soft, but over time, it carves mountains. In your life, practicing ahimsa might mean holding your tongue during a heated argument or choosing kindness over retaliation. Someone throws negativity at you? Instead of catching it, let it drop. You could start small. The next time someone criticizes you, respond with calmness. Thanks for the feedback. Works wonders. If you're tempted to gossip, choose silence instead. Silence isn't passive, it's control. And if you're on social media, resist the urge to fire back at a rude comment. Instead, post something uplifting. Ahimsa transforms how you interact with others, but more importantly, it rewires your relationship with yourself. When you remove violence from your heart, you make room for peace. And here's the beauty of it. It's contagious. People mirror what they see, and by practicing nonviolence, you're inspiring others to do the same. Now, here's a thought. If your words and actions could influence someone else's peace, wouldn't you choose nonviolence every single time? But don't stop here. Nonviolence has a twin, and that's truth. Let's talk about that next. Lesson 2. Truth Force, Satyagraha. What does it mean to live by truth? Not just to tell the truth occasionally, but to embody it. Gandhi believed that truth, satya, is the foundation of a meaningful life. But here's the catch. Truth isn't always convenient. In fact, it's often uncomfortable. Think about it. How often do people bend the truth just to avoid awkward situations? Yet, when you commit to truth, you gain a force so powerful that it can move mountains. That's why Gandhi called it Satyagraha, truth force. Living by truth means being honest with others, but more importantly, being honest with yourself. For example, let's say you've been procrastinating on a project. Instead of blaming distractions, acknowledge the truth. I've been avoiding this because I'm afraid of failure. That's where transformation begins, with the courage to face what's real. Truth isn't about being blunt or harsh, though. It's about clarity and integrity. Imagine this scenario. You're in a disagreement with a friend. Instead of saying what you think they want to hear, try this. I see your point, but I feel differently about this, and here's why. Truth delivered with kindness is like a bridge. It connects rather than divides. Practical steps to live with Satyagraha. Start journaling your thoughts daily. Writing them down forces you to confront your inner truths. When making decisions, ask yourself, am I being honest about my motives? And when you catch yourself in a small lie, like saying, I'm fine, when you're not, pause and rephrase. Actually, I'm having a tough day, is much closer to the truth. Here's the magic. Truth liberates. Every time you choose it, you free yourself from the weight of pretense. And as you practice truthfulness, you'll notice something incredible. People start trusting you more, and your relationships deepen. But truth doesn't exist in isolation. It thrives in simplicity. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Lesson 3. Simplicity and self-reliance. Do you ever feel like life gets too loud? Like there's always something calling for your attention? Notifications, errands, expectations? Gandhi believed that simplicity isn't just a lifestyle, it's a form of freedom. And when you pair it with self-reliance, you gain the power to steer your own life, no matter how chaotic the world around you becomes. Self-reliance isn't about isolating yourself or doing everything alone. It's about trusting your abilities and finding solutions without waiting for someone else to step in. For example, Gandhi spun his own clothes to show independence from British textiles. You don't have to go that far, but think about this. Are there areas in your life where you rely too much on others? Maybe it's always ordering takeout instead of cooking, or waiting for someone to motivate you instead of taking the first step yourself. In simplicity, it's about clearing the clutter, physically and mentally. You don't need a minimalist wardrobe or a house with bare walls, unless that's your thing. Simplicity starts by asking, what truly matters to me? Maybe it's spending time with family, pursuing a hobby, or simply having time to breathe. Focus on those things and let go of the noise. Practical ways to embrace self-reliance and simplicity. Try cooking one meal a week from scratch. You'll not only save money, but feel more in control of what you consume. Take a day to declutter your space. Start with your closet or digital files. Small steps lead to big changes. Set boundaries with your time. If it doesn't align with your priorities, learn to say no without guilt. Here's the best part. When you simplify and rely on yourself, you free up energy for what truly matters. Life becomes less about managing chaos and more about enjoying the moment. But self-reliance needs something else to thrive, discipline. And that's where we're heading next. Lesson 4. Self-esteem and self-control. Let's talk about control, not over others, but over yourself. Gandhi believed that true power lies in mastering your emotions and impulses. But here's the twist. Self-control isn't about deprivation, it's about choice. When you strengthen your self-control, you're actually giving yourself the freedom to focus on what really matters. And self-esteem? That's the fuel. If you don't value yourself, how can you expect to take control of your actions? Think of self-esteem and self-control as two sides of the same coin. One empowers the other. For example, have you ever stuck to a tough workout plan or avoided a tempting but unhelpful habit? That feeling of accomplishment isn't just discipline. It's self-worth in action. Here's the thing. Your impulses aren't enemies, they're signals. Craving junk food? Maybe your body's just tired and looking for energy. Snapping at a friend? It might be stress talking, not your true self. Recognizing these patterns helps you respond rather than react. Practical steps to build self-esteem and self-control. Start small. Pick one habit to work on, like drinking more water or cutting down on screen time before bed. Success builds momentum. Speak kindly to yourself. Replace "I always mess up" with "I'm learning." It's a game changer. Practice mindfulness. Before reacting, pause for 5 seconds and ask, what outcome do I really want here? Here's a relatable example. Imagine someone makes a snide comment at work. Instead of snapping back or stewing in silence, take a breath. Respond with calm confidence. That's an interesting perspective. Care to explain? This shows both self-control and self-respect, leaving you in control of the situation. When you master self-control, you're no longer at the mercy of your emotions or circumstances. Instead, you become the one calling the shots. But every strong foundation needs pillars, and that's where faith comes in. Lesson 5. Faith and Spirituality. Let's be honest, faith can feel like a tricky subject. It's deeply personal, yet it has the power to connect us with something much bigger than ourselves. Gandhi saw faith not just as a belief in the divine, but as an anchor, a way to navigate life's storms with resilience and purpose. And here's the secret. Spirituality isn't confined to a specific religion or ritual. It's about finding meaning, staying grounded, and living in alignment with your values. Faith starts with trust in yourself, in others, and in the process of life. Picture this. You're facing a tough decision, and fear whispers, "What if this goes wrong?" Faith, on the other hand, nudges you and says, "What if this is exactly what you need to grow?" It's not about blind optimism, but about believing that challenges shape us in ways we can't yet see. Spirituality adds depth to that faith. It's like tending a garden. You water it, remove weeds, and let it grow naturally. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, or even a walk in nature, spirituality is about creating space to reflect and recharge. Gandhi himself spent hours in silent meditation, drawing strength from within to face the chaos around him. How can you build faith and spirituality into your life? Start a gratitude practice. Each evening, jot down 3 things you're thankful for. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's meaningful. Spend 5 minutes each day in stillness. No distractions, no to-do lists. Just breathe and be present. Explore texts that resonate with you. Gandhi loved the Bhagavad Gita, but your source of inspiration could be a poem, a scripture, or even a favorite quote. Faith doesn't remove obstacles, but it gives you the strength to climb over them. And spirituality? It's the compass that keeps you on track. Together, they form a safety net, catching you when life throws its curveballs. And now, as you've grasped these lessons, it's time to see how they all come together. Let's bring it full circle. Now that you've uncovered these profound lessons, let me ask you this. What's holding you back from applying them? Are you ready to break free from the habits and distractions that keep you stuck? Imagine how your life could change if you fully embraced nonviolence, lived by your truth, simplified your days, mastered yourself, and anchored your faith. The choice is yours, but here's a gentle nudge. Don't just learn these principles, live them. So, where will you start? Will you focus on controlling your reactions, decluttering your life, or creating a space for stillness? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you plan to take action. And remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every small step brings you closer. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss more insights like these. To dive deeper into Gandhi's wisdom, I highly recommend his autobiography, The Story of My Experiments with Truth. It's not just inspiring, it's incredibly affordable on Amazon, and you can find the link pinned in the first comment. Finally, thank you for being here. Your growth inspires us to keep creating. If you're ready to continue exploring timeless wisdom, click the card on your screen for the next video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.